Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dream Weavers podcast. Hi, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Kim, Deanna could not be with us today, and we're going to send her lots of love. We're going to send her some really good vibes and a lot of love. Um, Again, not my story to tell, but yeah, she could just use a little extra love right now. She is okay. She's okay. But sometimes when we're taking care of others, we could use a little extra love. So
Yeah, and we all take care of ourselves too. That's the most important thing.
yeah, yeah. So we have the incredible Kim Mo here with us today. Ah! And full disclosure, whole lot of honesty, guys. She was a last minute like thought that happened, and we're going to talk about that today. This
Hmm.
episode, Kim and I think is going to be really awesome. I'm super excited to dive into it with you because she's holding out some information on me that I don't know yet. Um, and then I have some things that I want to share with her that came to me. And so, guys, all this to say, I was actually telling Kim right before we started recording, and I want to, I'm doing it, Kim. I want to tell
Beautiful.
you guys that I had a conversation with you guys a while back where I was really vulnerable and I seriously opened up and I told you guys all about where I am and what I want this to become. And time kept going and things happen and it didn't quite start making the shifts that I was hoping for it to make. And that's just the truth because things have been chaotic, which are one of the things we're going to talk about as well. But I mean, just life happens and we don't always immediately make those shifts that we want to make. So, with that being said, I'm here to tell you guys I hope you're going to enjoy this as much as I think Kim and I are going to enjoy this conversation. And I figured it out in the click when I called Kim and said, "Hey, girl, I got an idea. Can you yada yada yada?" And so I'm kind of looking at this, and I think I'm going to title it the redemption episode. So thank you guys who have been there with us through all of this. I want to say thank you because I appreciate you guys still being there. Kim, you're one of them, girl. I'm looking at you, girl. You've been there through every phase and stage of this, and I appreciate it so much. And the exact same for the rest of you. And yes, I'm going to cry a lot through this. I have a lot to release. And
Very
so,
good.
everybody, just thank you so much. Ever so grateful. And this episode is what it's going to be all about moving forward. All right, Kim. So here we go. You starting or am I, girl? Thank you. Number one and foremost, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you
You're
again
most
so
welcome.
much for being here. Um, you want to go first?
Sh- sure,
Go
sure.
on. Come on.
you
I'm so
know,
stoked.
I'm still integrating a lot of this information that I got, and it's like you. I was in tears earlier today too, as well, when I was in a meditation class with my peers. Whew, and this is the same exact way I told them. They're like, I want to go last telling this, but what I saw, because I see a lot. And oh my gosh, it's just, where do I begin? We went into
There's
a
a lot of
meditation.
breaths.
Yeah, and we went into meditation, and I'm used to going in the higher spaces like we do in the light body. We go out into the being space, much higher being space in our luminous body. And that's another conversation we'll have either this time or another time about the light body. This time, we've been really tackling our personalities and bringing that into our light body, bringing the two together to make it more cohesive and less about ego personality and more about your higher self, your personality, bringing those pieces together. It was phenomenal. You're getting
Uh,
messages. I
I
could
have a
feel.
question. I
Yeah.
have a question though.
Hmm.
How do you tell the difference between the personalities and the how do you tell the difference between the two? You mentioned the personalities
Well,
between like the egoic state and your higher self state.
the ego
Sometimes
personality, it's your everyday life. And then when
I
you,
was going
we,
to say sometimes my
mhm,
ego has a tendency to blur those lines that I don't always
yes,
notice it's my ego
hmm
until I'm
you,
like, "Oh crap. That was pure ego right there."
So you first start out in your
after it's come out, right?
personality space, like when you're first starting your meditation now, unless you're very good, and there's some of us that can do that, is to immediately go into that other space. If you practice that muscle just like you do with, just working out or whatever, you can get into that space. In this particular case, we had discussed when we brought the group energy together, we were talking about the personality, and we just stayed in the lower spaces just to look at ourselves and look at each other person in the group, just to see where they're at and just to send love and just to be helpful for that person. So when we went into the second meditation, to answer your question, the personality, we went into the light body and the being space like you do when you go into a higher space when you do meditation. And then we brought those energies back down into your personality and your heart space and your personality. And it's like, now look at the difference on where that space is. And it blended the two together. It's You don't have such the ego in that part. You bring more of your higher self and your soul down into your personality, and it just kind of helps you blend the two together, with all the denseness down here and all the higher up here. You need a happy medium so it's a good even flow to go. So in this meditation, what happened was, woo, we went into
Wow.
meditation. He brought you feeling it. You're feeling it, aren't you? Because
I
it's
get
coming.
that. I get that.
Went into the space and sorry if I decide to cry, what not to, but went into these spaces and it said, uh, the symbol of the Merkaba came up to me because it's like a sacred space. The Merkaba is the diamond, pyramid shape, and then the other half is the opposite, like it's facing down. The two are facing opposite directions. And they wanted to be in a containment. Miss Kim here was like, no, you can't contain me. You can't. And this is the ego part now. Mind you, at the beginning of this is my ego talking. You can't. I don't want to be contained. I want to go to the higher spaces. I want to be in that all that energy. And then it asks us to be contained. And I was okay with it. And I felt my energies trying to bounce to get out of this containment. And so just being real here, I did ask, if this energy was of the highest light, because that's the first thing you
Well, you
should
got to
do
make sure.
by all means
Yeah,
is
you got
this
to make
being
sure.
that's with our group of the highest light 3 times. So I asked that and it was. And so then this triggered my flight or fight response.
Mm.
Immediately, I recognized it right off. The kind of like panic, the panic we have.
Uh-huh.
I'm not the type of person that freaks out in small spaces. I'm not. But when you get me in the higher spaces, I've never had this before. So this is all new to me. So I surrendered. I'm like, okay, you're the highest light. You have my highest regards, my highest, e-
Best
evolvement that I
intentions.
need. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I surrendered and I'm like, okay, I'm down here with the other group, with everybody else. And then we connected our auras. I'll say that now. There's different meanings in the light body part of it, but most people wouldn't completely understand it unless they've gone through the light body course. Um, we blended our auras together as a group, and then we created an orb out of that in this chamber of space. Okay. So this being,
So
go
let's
ahead.
just make sure that everybody else is getting the same mental picture that I am or a version thereof.
Hmm.
All these individuals blending their auras together,
Yeah.
creating that bigger space inside of it,
Yes.
inside of this space that you're
It's
already in.
yes. So the energy is palpable. It's huge. I do know that I had to
Oh,
expand the energy quite a bit because it was so strong. And then we had the higher beings come in and we had our spirit guides teams come in. And what happened next was I don't know where to okay, so what happened was he had the being that was speaking through the individual that was running the meditation and said had now let's just bring gosh, how did that go? I'm sorry.
take your time.
What I felt, whatever he said, I had felt everybody's flight or flight response, everybody's triggers, everybody's lower dense feelings that they were carrying heavily on themselves. I was a conduit. I was a conduit and it was going through me and up. And that was my purpose in that. But it was a
Wow.
very teachable lesson for me because it's like I felt everybody's, I felt everybody. I mean, I was just, anyway, we released a lot. We released a lot of energies within that. I could see it going up and out and pulling at. And then afterwards, when that was all done, the being gave us a gift and we opened our hands into a gift, just like this. A gift was given and it was different for each individual. For me, I don't know exactly what it was, but I do know that I had to put it in my heart space, into my heart space, and to feel it to kind of course through my body and then just expand my energy out. So when everybody was done, I sometimes go first because I see a lot of things and I just kind of so excited to tell what I see and feel and sense. And I purposely ask everybody to go ahead of me, and everybody felt and seen things they've never seen before, some breakthroughs that they had not, but also that gift that they got that was all transmuted so that they were able to see their gift. Some was seeing rainbows, some of them was seeing the frequency and the colors of it. Some of them just feel so much peace and calm, and others felt just didn't. Some of them just went to sleep and didn't know anything because there was just so much going on within that.
Hmm. They needed to
But I was very
process on a
tearful,
deeper.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
explaining all that, just what I had felt and the energies with that. But what the biggest lesson for me out of that was to be in my line of work, just like everybody else, you kind of come and go with these. Like 1 minute I want to do this, this, and this, and you're feeling very called to do this, and then the next minute you're like, hey, I need to take a step back. There's so many factors into that. One is the energies coming in, and then Saturn's kind of pushing us back down into our 3D body. So we're all feeling these energies of why did I was so good to hear a second ago, and all of a sudden I'm down, and it's all part of this integration and all the while bringing these two together. So we really worked within the personality, bringing those two together and allowing it to give something to think, but also saying, hey, you need to take a break. Let's pull this down. Let's show you what you truly are. And it really, really brought in our authentic self, literally our true authentic self. And everybody felt it across the board. It was just phenomenal. But I was just in so much tears for that.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like the most amazing experience. Holy cow. So once you guys built all this energy, did you release it?
We did afterwards. I did ask, hey, as you said that immediately afterwards, when we came back down to, Earth, I grounded, and then I also light language come in, and I'm just doing all this stuff, and I'm blessing it. The space needed blessed. It was just like it was just that powerful. And yeah, I did. I had to step away because those being in those energies is quite strong, and eventually your 3D body is it's hard to hold it for it down here in these parts, but we're just making the collective energy in our group much stronger, and I felt like it rebuilt, repowered, strengthened my lower bodies, the lower, like your centers.
Oh,
It
really?
it actually rebuilt those, and it's probably just bringing them back on cue where we all need to be because we're in the next part of going up, and
Uh-huh.
that. So it's quite. It was very phenomenal, very phenomenal.
So what was your gift?
I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I still need to integrate that and ask because literally I just did that probably maybe 2 hours ago, if
Yeah,
that long. So
yeah.
I just finished it before you had contacted me to do this. So I'm still like, knowing that
You're still
I maybe that is
processing it
my
all.
key, because I've been in sessions and hypnosis sessions that I'm hold a key for certain things, which we all do. I don't want to say that to toot my horn by all means, and because we each and every one have a gift here. But I feel like
Yeah.
the key is that I am to help others with transmuting this stuff. And it's like, that's what I've always wanted to do is help people heal. It's just kind of goes along the lines of all that. So whether that is, I will, once I get off here and I get time to meditate again on my own, I will ask what especially is that gift. Others knew what their gifts, but I felt like I was so busy working in that space. It's okay to let go of that flight or fight fear because
Mm,
fought that my whole entire life. Oh, and I'm working on letting that go. And it's just, that was a huge
maybe
lesson.
your gift is to finally see yourself for who and how you are.
Yes. Which
Because
coincides with my name, with my website.
look at everything that you already just did
Yeah.
and how much you were able to hold that energy
Hmm.
inside of that space, right? And then
Yeah.
turn around and heal through that, not just yourself, but holding that space for others to heal as well.
Yes. Yep.
Maybe you're meant to see all that.
I believe I was. Yes, truly. I truly do. Um, but where to next? Like what's next? And I'm sure
Oh,
they'll
well,
show me.
honey, isn't that the $64,000 question? Are you?
Right? It truly is.
Who
It
child? Who you
is.
talking to, honey? Oh, yeah.
But
Where
just
to
working through that
next?
personality is huge.
I've,
It's huge.
yeah. You know, how can I say this? I'm really trying to figure out how to say this. I don't know if my personality is fully changed per se, being in the Light Buddy course with you. However, I will say that I've noticed a lot of shifts.
Hmm.
I don't think my personality per se has changed.
It's a work in progress. It really is.
What I've noticed is the shifts of my bullshitometer.
Yeah. You've noticed it's easy to see now, isn't it? It's very easy to
I've
see.
always kind of, prided myself on having a pretty good meter. I can detect pretty well.
Hmm.
This is different.
Yes.
This is a different awareness. It's not the one that I'm used to. It
Right.
is definitely different.
I feel that way too. I think many people are feeling that.
And with that changes my approach.
Hmm.
I approach things, what comes out of my mouth is different. How I say things out of my mouth is different, which actually, to be a whole lot of honest, I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
I'm loving the new awareness. I'm loving seeing it because it's not, okay, there it is. Here's a better way to describe it. I got it. In the regular 3D world, you know, when we have real good bullshit detectors, it's because of the trauma that we've gone through that our defenses are up. We listen to those gut instincts because we've taught ourselves to trust those gut instincts because that's what's saved our ass a handful of times probably. However, when you get to the more spiritual side of things, this is not just my defenses. I'm not
It's
detecting
not
it
triggering those. Yeah.
as the defense mechanism. It's actually seeing them from where they're coming from.
Yes. Yes. And so now
And
we're having to
because I
relearn how we respond to
so
everything.
because well, and that's what I was going to say is because I can see where they're coming from. My approach is different.
Yeah.
And my
100%. Yep.
and it's a lot, I'm not going to lie. It's even more compassionate and
Hmm.
softer. I used to think I aspire and I thrive. I do. I really do. Thrive is not the right word. I aspire and do my best to be as benevolent and compassionate and loving and all those things. but we could always do better.
Always. Yeah.
And this is showing me a different level of better that I
Mhm.
am just in awe and appreciation of. It's really freaking cool. Because like I said, my defense, pardon me, excuse me, excuse me, all the tears. Excuse me. They were kind of, anyway. And so, it's just a different awareness of being able to approach things differently. And
Yeah.
it's not, there's no defense there. It's just, okay, I see differently. And it's
A
beautiful,
It's
dude.
across the board. You can see just in different aspects. I mean, I'm trying to do away more with social media. Truly, I feel that deep in my heart and that I need to do that. And I'm working on that, just like everybody else. It's a work in progress. And but I could see it
It's
across all
hard to get,
platforms
yeah,
that they're changing. They're having more compassion and more love, to see that aspect. And it's ironic you said that because I had a dream, oh, probably a month or so ago about that I was on the new earth of and just seeing where they're at and the space that they're at, and all you have is just compassion and love. Do you need anything from me, that I can help you with? And if not, then and moving on, and that's, and just allowing them to be in their space wherever they're at and however they're at, just meeting them where they're at, literally what it is. Yeah.
I'm such a big proponent of that.
But,
Meeting
working
people
with
where they're
those,
at.
yeah, and I could, a couple of the people that's in this group have noticed that my aura has changed quite a bit. And it's because I feel like I'm working, we're all changing. I mean, they could see the auras better, than I can, but just the different light body techniques because I'm growing along with my class that I'm, teaching as well. And just everything else with the energies coming in. So it's just like good because I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels that way, but I don't always pay attention to that. I'm always looking how to do things differently for myself. And it's just nice to know that people notice that, if that
Well,
makes
here's
sense.
another notice because I was going to tell you something that I hadn't had a moment to share with you was, I finally finished listening to the recording that from the class that I missed. And having that perspective of being able to listen to the recording because I did miss the class and not being in the class as usual,
With
my
the
usual
energies, yeah.
presence and stuff like that,
Mhm.
I can tell how much you've grown
Good.
because I had that outsider's perspective for a moment, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so because I was able to have that, I was like, "Holy cow. She's really kind of I could see how much you've grown
Mhm.
and ascended.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
both. And then it's almost like doing the mushroom effect.
Mhm.
Yeah, oh wait, out here. But the more you go up, the more you're like just sprawling and it's amazing. And I will
Yeah.
say that because yeah, I did notice that. We just hadn't had a moment to chat about that yet. Because that was kind of my thing. You ready? Speaking of your authentic self,
Okay.
we're
Yep.
gonna tie this right on in with I told you I had a conversation started, but anyway, um so yesterday I got to go skydiving again.
Wow.
I like that stuff.
Interesting.
And one of the things that I did a short video on and I was talking about is so I've done this before, Now I'm not a pro. This was only my third time. Like, you
Did
know.
you do it by yourself or was somebody
Oh,
with
so
you?
okay, yeah, let me back. Oh, yes. Do you mean did I go with other people or did I
Well,
do a
like,
tandem jump?
I guess it's a tandem because I don't know anything about it, where somebody you're attached to
Yeah.
somebody and they kinda help
Yes.
guide all that and
Yes. Oh, yeah, they do everything. So my thing, okay, I'll give you a little bit of backstory. So when my dad's birthday was on the 12th.
hmm,
And so on his 60th birthday, we went skydiving. My cousin and him. And we all, they went skydiving. Actually, I did not go that time. I did not jump with him that time. Dane was too young. Is anyway, it didn't matter. I did not jump that time. So fast forward 10 years later, and so he's now 70, and um, yeah, he was really young when I came along. But I'm still young too. But anyway, uh, I just had to throw that in there because you know. Uh, anyway, my point. Anyway, back to my story. So we were doing it for his 70th. So this time it was my cousin, the same one who jumped with him last time, him and me. So all three of us jumped. And yes, we do. We jump tandem. And the way that I do it is kind of like you and I have never been to a coffee shop together or gone out for a cocktail either. So, but what I do, and if I can ever get in like a chef's presence or like you're a good cook, I'm gonna tell you, I would tell you the same thing that I would tell a good barista or like a good bartender. Let me experience one of your favorite things to make so that that way I get a glimpse into you. I get to experience you through your creation.
How nice.
And so that's my jam, right? I love to do that. And do you know
Hmm.
some of the most amazing things I've ever gotten in my life are these people's creations? So I do that all the time. Like I walk in to, I prefer, I mean, yeah, we go to Starbucks. Um, Sometimes I'm like, hey, do you happen to have a favorite drink that you like to make? And they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, my favorite drink to make is," and I was like, "That's what I want right there. You just got passion behind your voice. I want that." And that's what I want to put in my
Interesting.
body.
Just think what message you're giving to them back to them, reflecting back to them when you do that. That speaks volumes.
I've never thought of it from that perspective, but come on, we talk about the water thing and you infuse your water with love.
Hmm.
Well, we cook with love. That's an old thing. That's nothing new. We
Right.
cook with love, or, good old Southern people will say you put your foot in it, you know, or something to that effect. But, it's the same thing. It's infused because you have the passion to do this. You're like, "Oh, I get to create what I love. Let me do this for you."
Well, that's
And
true,
I get to
right?
and I get to experience that. And then how happy is my body?
It's ecstatic, and so is theirs, you
Well,
know.
and my body gets so happy because I just ingested all this joy.
Mhm, mhm. Yep.
And I have this cool little experience. So I this is how I think. Energy's everywhere, dude.
Yes, it
This is
is.
all part of energy, right? So I've been doing this forever. And I've been doing that for a very long time. It kind of ties into the dessert thing. If I'm going to go to a restaurant and I decide to do dessert, I always do dessert as an appetizer
Huh.
because to me, it's a sweet treat, and we don't treat ourselves sweetly very often. And so when I do, I want it to be a full blown experience and I want to share it with other people. So I get my glass of wine, I get my cup of coffee, I get my sweet treat. And I'm like, everybody get a fork. Let's go. Get your joy. Get whatever you want that makes you happy. This is me right here. I got all you around me, even if it's only you and I, Kim. I still got
Yeah.
you with me. I'm gonna still have my glass of wine. I'm still gonna have my cup of coffee. And of course, there's going to be a water because I drink a lot of, not a lot of coffee. That's not true. But anyway, but yeah. And then it's like, all right, let's share and have this experience of enjoying and being sweet to ourselves through this treat.
How nice.
It's a
I've
play on
never done that
words.
before.
It's a play on, oh, well, come on. I'll take you. It'll be
Well, let's
I'll
just
do it.
let's okay, you do that, but let's hold off about three
Yeah.
3 months
Yeah.
because I'm still on my
Well, that'll
weight
be about
loss
the time I
journey.
want to come anyway, because it'll be nice and warm in Arizona.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
not that Texas isn't too warm, but anyway. All right. So anyway, so yes, so the same thing when and I say it like I've been skydiving so many times. I have not. I
Oh
have
yeah, I
not.
forgot about that. Let's
So
talk about
I
that.
say the same thing to the person who I'm tandemed up with.
Hmm.
I look at them and I'm like, this is your thing. You're the pro. Take me on your ride. Let me enjoy it through your eyes. Have fun. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to look at my little Dumapache. I don't really care about staring.
What is their
I
response
just
when you tell them that?
Well, this guy was all in. So the first guy, he was like, okay. He's like, you sure this? And that was my very first jump. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, do your jam. I was the same way. I was a hairstylist. Do you know when people sat in my chair and said, do what you love? Do you know how freaking amazing it was for them to leave because they let me have and do for them what I
Do
think,
best.
my
Mhm.
personality, my thing, my creativeness, I mean, I get to put that into you, and I'm gonna give you all that I got because you're allowing me the freedom to do so. So, of course. So I think that's where all this came from, was probably because I was so appreciative of the people who let me do that for them. Anyway, so um so the first one, he was like, borderline. He still wanted me to do some things. The second one, I had to pay attention because that's when we jumped in the Grand Canyon. That one was a little different.
Mm.
It's a jump down, and then you
Now
hike
that would have
out.
been so cool to do. Holy cow, that would
Yeah.
have been so nice to do.
And a
Uh,
lot of people, well, because it's about a 5-hour hike out.
oh.
So that's
Oh, to
that's a
get
lot.
out after once you get there, yeah.
So that's kind of a deterrent for a lot of people. For me, that's part of the joy because here's how I look at it. Giving everybody like a really who, hi guys, welcome to Ronnie. Um, Seriously, because you're not as high up, but you're pretty high up. You know, you're just not, you can't get quite as high. You got to stay a little lower because of the things, how things are going to change. But anyway,
Right. Mhm.
so you get this amazing aerial view, and then you're just dropping down, 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 and you get all these layers to see.
Ah, that
And
would be
and then
phenomenal.
you're about halfway and you get to look up. And then all of a sudden you're down and you're like, "Phew, okay, we're down." Right about the time you're done looking up because you've hit it halfway, then you're on the ground. And and then you gather everything and you got to help pack everything out, and so you hike 5 hours out. So it's really amazing to be able to have what I call almost a complete, I'm sure it's not a fully complete, but an almost complete experience of being able to see it from that
Yeah.
aerial view
Mhm.
coming down, and then you're down on the bottom to be able to foot back out, you
Yeah.
know?
You was in
It's
the higher
really,
spaces, then you came down and you grounded, and then, of course, you walked the ground so
and
that
then you
that's
just look, you stand on top and you just look and you're like, "Fudge. Really?
came
I
from up
just
there.
did that.
Now how long does that take? I
I
mean, like,
did
from the
that."
time you jump out of the airplane to you hit ground, like, is it
You're only in the air on that one. Because I think it's give or take about a 15-minute thing. Um, give or take about 15 minutes. I think that one's probably, you parachute earlier though, because you got to, yeah, so it's probably about 12 minutes
wow.
instead of like 15 to
Mhm.
18. And what depends is how fast you come out of the plane, the free fall, because
Mhm.
some people will take their time and just float through the free fall and enjoy the free fall. This
Yeah.
guy who was so excited, when I told him, yes, just take me on my ride. He's like, seriously? And he looks at me and he says, so you don't even want to rip it, right? And by that means, grab the string to pull for the
Right.
parachute. And I was
So
like,
you just
no.
let him be in complete control then, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, surrender. And I was like, no, I don't even want to rip it. And he's like, cool. He was the most amazing guy. He was totally my personality. I was so grateful because our personalities were like so perfectly meshed. I mean, he's a big old hippie dude, a long-haired California style, surfer hippie guy is
Mhm.
kind of like what he looks like, who's now older and gotten into the spiritual side of things, which he
Oh,
has,
nice.
because he knew who Bashar was. He used to live in Arizona and he used to actually skydive out of the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
So yeah, and so he used to tell people to go down to Sedona all the time and stuff. So anyway, it was really awesome, really cool experience. My point to this is, here we go. Before all of that happened, we did the training, the little class, the little they call it the training class, they got to tell you how to skydive, right? They need
Mhm.
You got to know these things. And they go through all the things. Well, he happened to be my tandem person, my tandem, I think they're called instructors, skydiving instructor, but the person, my professional is what I call him. I know he don't want to die, so I'm gonna stay alive.
Right. Yeah.
I
Yep.
prefer tandem jumping. I don't know. Anyway, I'm digressing. Um, he does the talk, he tells us all the things, and then they play this little video. And at the end of this video, this person, this young gentleman, comes on the screen and he's talking about how skydiving's this and skydiving's that and yada, yada, yada. And then he says, just think about this, guys. He says, you're already here. You've already paid the money. You've already done all the things, yada, yada, yada. He says, so you might as well skydive. And think about this. If you can conquer this fear in your life, what else can you conquer?
Mhm. Very nice.
What a mic drop moment.
Yeah. How nice. But
And
that was
I
wonderful.
just went, I don't know if that's a marketing ploy. And if it is, game on and kudos because it's a most excellent one. Or if he was just being really genuine because he's found that that works through some stuff. And my point too, when I was doing the little video that I did yesterday was find your fears, guys. Find your, excuse me, find your fears because what I realized in that moment was only by truly facing our fears can we assess our own growth.
Yeah. Literally, you had the same thing as that I did today of actually looking at that flight and fight space. And with you, you conquered that too. You faced it, and
Oh, it's
we could.
scary.
Yeah,
I tell
it
people all the
can
time.
be. It can be
Well,
really.
the worst part is the plane ride and the getting out the darn plane. You're like, okay, well, the plane's finally flying. I think I'm okay. Why would I get out?
Right? Exactly.
But you do want to get out because it's a hell of a ride and it's super fun. But it's still, up until that point, and the free fall is just crazy.
I've always wanted to do that. I've just
Come
never
on,
pursued it.
girl. Again, I'm your Huckleberry. You know I'm your Huckleberry, Kim. Come on, girl. I will jump with you. I would love. Come on.
We'll have
I
to
could.
plan that. Yes.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And then we'll go celebrate with a sweet treat.
There you go.
Two
Boom.
experience in
Boom.
one day.
Boom. Right?
Let's do
Yes.
it. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Very
Yes,
true.
yes, yes. Yeah, that'll be amazing.
That's
Let's do it.
awesome.
Okay. All right. I see some plans happening. That'll be good.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that was the whole thing is it really came to me because it was only just a quick little, driving is so sometimes therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I kind of wonder, um, I'm like, why can't I get this when I'm not always, why do I always got to be driving?
When
I
these things
feel
come
like,
through. Yeah.
yeah, sometimes, man, I'm like, wow, I always got to be driving. But
And it's
it
by
comes when
yourself
it
where you can't just
comes.
say, hey, will you click on the recorder?
Thank you. Yeah. It's like, so anyway, but that's what I got as I was driving back after the skydiving thing. I was just replaying the whole experience, reflecting on the whole
Hmm.
thing in my head, and I was like, wow, that was just so bloody cool. Because also, I'm going to tell you, there was a moment where he took me on a ride. He did the tornado thing, where he dove
Hmm.
and we spun. That was intense and it was great. And I released a lot of stuff. And he comes up, he's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "I'm good. Let's do it again." And then he starts spinning, and then he goes back this way. And oh,
Nice, because it would have been years probably that for something you to learn that and to allow him the space to just let him do that
it
and to
was
be
so
safe
cool.
and feel safe with that
Yeah,
in that space.
it was super cool. And
Nice.
so I'm just, I'm driving back reflecting on all the things like I know I let go. I know I really, I know I let go of some stuff. What all did I let go and where am I at and how do I feel? Just kind of checking in, reflecting and seeing where I'm at with everything. And that's when it clicked to me, face your fears. You'll be able to assess.
Yeah.
I just got finished. It's scary. I mean, and anybody who tells you it's not scary, I think they would not be telling you the whole truth. Maybe they're used to that fear and they're
Hmm.
so used to overcoming it that they're kind of numb to it. But there's probably a little bit of something, something there if they thought really hard. Because, I mean, there is that risk factor. I mean, you do have two chutes, but what if,
Yeah.
I mean, because one might not open, but you always have a second. But, I mean, that's a moment, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
But if it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
That's what you got to believe, man. You just
Uh,
don't know.
yeah, and just if anybody's had a near death experience, then that in
You
itself will
know?
show you. Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I love that so much.
Yeah. Well,
Oh man, Kimmy, we've done solved all the world's problems, honey. Go
oh,
meditate and face your fears. What more do we need?
yeah. Pretty much, yeah. And so
I
that we
mean,
could, because if once we let that go, then something better was going to replace that,
oh, it's so
and
dope.
then off to the next one to conquer it. But all part of it is all part of the journey.
Yeah,
We
it
always,
is.
we always want to get to that finish line, and I so I keep pushing that because it's like, no, it's about stopping and smelling the roses, but actually slowing down time to just really pay attention to the microseconds, microseconds of everything. There's more
And
information in that space than there is if you just zooming by.
well, I think I learned that best. For me personally, I learned that best when I heard Wayne Dyer one time, listening to him when he said, "It's not the meditation that's this, it's the spaces between
Hmm.
the breathing. It's the spaces of emptiness between the thoughts
Yeah,
as you're sweeping it away."
the thing about being in a group setting when you're doing that, and someone says, "I didn't see anything," and then the others start speaking of what they saw, and it will trigger something in that other person's mind and say, "Oh God, that I did
Uh-huh.
see that," and you're like, "There's always something in nothingness." So don't overthink it. Don't overthink stuff. And there is something in that. There's
You're
so much
absolutely
in that
right.
nothingness.
You're
That's
absolutely
that.
right.
And the nothingness,
Yep.
the same class 2 weeks prior was in it, and I was so busy again trying to go out into the space, what you call transmitting, and I'm like, "You're not the one transmitting, Kim. You're supposed to be following." I'm telling myself that so I go back into that space, and so I don't think about this or going over here doing this and this. I just sit in that darkness and just be, and then that's when things started flowing in, just start coming in into you. And I'm like, wow, Kim, so lots of lessons. We all do different things. And that's part of my journey was to just stop and let go and just allow to be in that space instead of feel like you have to go search for something. It's all within you, it's all within yourself to go within. We're always busy trying to, so it's coming back, going in because what's inside each and every cell is a whole universe in itself, thousands and thousands and
Oh
millions
my
of
God.
universes inside those spaces. We have a lot of empty spaces in this grid work of a human body that we embody right now.
Well, it look like empty space, but exactly what you said, it's not really empty space
Yeah.
because it's got all the things in there because there's so much in the nothingness.
Speaking of, so when someone says there's nothingness and they're like, when you're in a meditation and you feel like there's nothing, zoom into that nothingness. Just keep zooming in within your mind. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Go into that until you do see something, till you see a speck of light or till you see something. Then just sit there with that. And then ask it, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to tell me? What do I need to see from this? What do I need to feel or sense from this? And I'm
I
telling you,
have an
you'll get
answer.
so much. Go ahead, answer because I'm curious what your response is.
Whew,
We're
that
helping
it's
so many
all
people. Yeah.
that it's all the same. There's no difference. The universe is the universe.
Hmm.
Because when you zoom in, exactly like you said, which we know, we see this, but if others don't know out there, yeah, it's all about understanding. Well, it's my analogy, the one that I use, but it's what they're showing me in my mind's eye is they're showing me a picture of the proverbial solar system, outer space, right? With the Milky Way and all the particles and everything, and some bigger
Hmm.
things, some smaller things, but just kind of that general thing. But that's the same thing. In case anybody's ever looked at a cell under a microscope, that's the exact same thing.
Interesting. Yeah, that's exactly right, because I like to go in to look at my cells and atoms and
Uh-huh.
talk to my body,
And it's the
which
exact same thing.
that just takes right into that, that talk
So,
that I like to say.
well, and you know me, I always say, I love to tell people this, like, okay, so I have tea in my cup. I made orange ginger in case anybody's curious. It's
Ooh,
orange ginger
nice.
today.
Very nice.
Um, but let's pretend, that this, for a second, I love to tell people this. If inside of this cup or in the ocean, let's pretend that the entire ocean is God.
Hmm.
Just for a moment, if the entire ocean is God, you've heard me say this before, I say it all the time. You know, I take this cup, I fill my cup up. I now have God in my cup.
And you're drinking it into yourself, which is a piece or speck.
But what's the difference between this cup of God versus the entire ocean?
There isn't. It's just
What's the difference if God made us?
there
What's
isn't a
the
difference because we are
difference?
God.
That's
We
what
are
the
just a
universe
piece
is
of God.
that's exactly what the universe is showing me. Again, like, come on, come on. And apparently I'm just meant to share it because I already know that information the same way that you do.
Mhm, mhm.
So
You know,
apparently
like
somebody
I
needed to
like
hear that today.
on my health journey, because I'm down 39 pounds now since April 20th. Yes,
One,
and
two, three.
boom.
Ah, good job. I'm so proud of you. Going with your bad
Just
self.
and and that's a whole nother line of thing to talk about sometime. But just on that health journey. But I also try to go within and talk to my body. What exactly does it need? What do you need? And you talking to your cells and your atoms. When you go into meditation, just go within and just listen. Whatever comes to mind first, accept it for what it is, because that's what it's trying to tell you. You may not think that it links to what you have, but it does link up. It truly links up. There's a story inside of a story inside of a story that comes to that, to the very beginning. Just keep following that line until you get to the root of the problem, and then talk to it. That's the Hopoponopono thing. You speak to it, talk to it. I'm
Hmm.
sorry I created you. Or if it came through your lineage or your across your other timelines,
I'm
I'm just
sorry.
sending you peace and love and compassion, and I release you from those energies with much love and compassion. And to fill that space, and then talk to yourselves, say, hey, that's gone now. That dis-ease, or that injury, or that pain, and just fill that space with love and light. And then you start vibrating. Your body just starts vibrating much better, and you start tingling, and just it just makes a difference. And it's important to every day to talk to yourself, talk to your body, and just see what it is to help. We're on our journey of self-healing. Eventually we will be able to completely do it, but we're in that process now, and this is the beginning stages of us really realizing that. And so I really hope everybody explores that when they hear this, and think that, about going back into their body and talking, and it helps you heal.
It's so interesting that we're having this conversation for two reasons. Number one, I had something I wanted to share about what I've been doing, but I'm going to set that over here on the side because this is more important. Because, my friend Shelly, we were literally just talking about uh, an acquaintance. Yeah, I would say a friend. I would say a friend, a good person that she knows, and how they do yoga every morning. But this one particular day, even though they do yoga every day, they had one of the knots, and she was having to help him with the back, and stretch it out and work it out and get a good crack in there for him, and stuff like that, because his yoga just wasn't working.
Hmm.
And I said, next time you see this person, make sure you tell them that your woo woo friend Ronnie, or the hippie gypsy queen. I'm the hippie Jeepsy friend. Because I told you I used to have a Jeep Wrangler. That's how
Oh,
we
okay,
know
yeah.
each other, is because we were in the Jeeper community together. And that's how we became friends, is through the Jeep world. And so I'm the hippie And because I'm such a gypsy, they call me the Jeepsy.
I'll be
Even though I
darned.
even though I don't still have a Jeep today, it's still cute. So anyway, so AKA woo woo out there. And I love it. It's cute. It makes me laugh. But I said, make sure you tell him, that your crazy, hippie gypsy friend Ronnie is the one who said this. Yoga, you forgot. That knot was there to remind you, or that person, that human, it was there to remind them that when they're doing the yoga, they weren't breathing.
Yeah.
And you got to send the breath inside.
Yes.
In that moment, they were caught up in their head and
Mhm.
they were sending the breath inside. So
Yes.
you got to send the breath inside. And then the
Mhm.
moment that you realize that, and that you do realize that you also have this mass going on in your body, then what you do is you go in and then you
Breathe
blow
into
on
it.
it,
Yes. 100%.
right? And then you settle into your stance again. Inhale, get really good in your pose, and then blow it out inside into whatever you're trying to literally expand.
And release. Yep.
Even if you want to expand it so much that it pops and disperses.
Mhm.
And that way it can alchemize and transmute.
Yes. 100%, yeah.
So
That's a
yeah.
whole 'nother story too that
Oh my
that you probably
gosh.
should bring up and talk about because it is a subject.
Well, it's real interesting. Well, then I'm so glad I said that one first because I was going to tell you, remember that really good meditation I told you I woke up from? I had this really, really, oh my gosh, this was the recent one. I had, what was it, about a week or two ago? Been about 2 weeks ago, I had a really amazing meditation where I went down. Yeah, that was the one where I called you where what's happening.
I'm
Remember
trying to
that one?
remember that one. If you
Okay.
tell me a little bit more, I probably will be like,
Okay,
"Yeah, okay,
so
that one."
I had the most amazing this meditation was the one, well, I had a good one before that and I felt some stuff coming on. So speaking of light language, all the things that are happening with my hands are really happening. I really sincerely do believe that it has to do with this
Okay.
light body
Uh-huh.
class
Yes.
because it's light language and it's just all coming out and going through the ascension
It
process, right?
really is. Yeah.
So during this meditation that just happened about a week or two ago, um, I was just sitting in a meditation for about 20 minutes and I went down so deep that when I came up, I wasn't right. I hadn't
Mm.
fully integrated back in. And I was kind of having a moment where I was like, what the chuck is happening?
Mhm. Mhm.
It because I kept trying to come out of it. I kept trying to come out of it. And I even literally got out because I was in my vehicle when this happened. I got out of my vehicle. I stood on the ground and I grounded myself and I took all my energy and I sent it down and I grew the cord and I threw it around the center and I said, ooh, and I magnetized it and I held myself there and it still wasn't working. Fast forward about 15 minutes, I'm still not right. I actually didn't even feel comfortable driving. Um, and then I had this moment where I could try because I got to my destination and I was trying to integrate all of this that's going on. Oh my gosh, I'm I'm shaking my whole computer. um, but I was really trying to, and probably to my honestly, probably over trying, Kim,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
integrate
Mhm.
all this because I'm like, I'm just not right. I could still feel myself out there, but yet I could feel my body. I'm seeing things differently. So I finally sat down, got to the destination, and I grounded again, trying to get there. And I still wasn't there. And this time, when I opened my eyes, I was calling all my parts of me back. So I was back in my body. I was no longer disconnected. But when I opened my eyes, I was seeing the veil and I was
Mm.
seeing all the digital and it looked like all the static. And that's when I called you,
Distortions,
Kim,
yes. Mhm.
all the distortions. And that's when I called Kim and I was like, girl, I need some better grounding because I what I'm doing and what I know is not working in this moment. And I told her everything that I was seeing, where my fingers were actually pointy. They were long and pointy and looking a little weird, but they weren't solid. They were almost kind of like an opaque tight to a translucent, because the longer they got, the more translucent. So they started out opaque and just got more and more sheer. And towards the end, they were kind of pointy. And all of this part from where your finger naturally starts to narrow to about here, where it was all pointy, was all staticky and digitally. And the very point was just, I really honestly want to say
Translucent where you
numbers.
couldn't. Yeah.
I felt like I could see a translucent number inside of the translucent finger.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
so I'm doing this with my hands because I'm like, what's happening? And I start hitting my thigh, and I knew that my hand was hitting my thigh, but I could not feel my leg. I swear to goddess. And that's when I was like, Kim, I can't feel anything. Something's really I'm like, what happened in this meditation? Where did I go? And where did I come back to? Because my phone's still working. Oh my God, you can tell how old I am. I still do this instead of this with the cell phone, because really we hold a cell phone like this. Um, but where did I go and what dimension am I in? Because I'm able to use my cell phone. So what's going on? But at the same time, I'm still hitting my leg, and I'm hitting I was sitting on my friend's pickup truck tailgate,
Mhm.
and I'm feeling the hardness, and I'm like, all I know is that it's hard enough to support me. But I had this weird thought, and I don't even think I told you this, Kim. I don't think I had this weird, oh gosh, ooh, I had this weird thought, Kim, that if I were to focus too much on the texture of the bed of that pickup truck,
It
that
would
I
have
would
been
have
just.
fallen through it.
Yeah. Yep. Mhm.
I just knew enough to not focus on and go, well, it's hard enough to support me. And that's a
Right.
whole And that's a whole lot of honesty. I'm here to tell you that, like, seriously, I felt like if I were to have really gotten in there and played with it, I probably could have fallen through.
Mhm.
I would have
Then you
been
try to
picking my
recreate
up.
something.
I would have been picking
Everything
my
is just
up.
energy. Everything is
Okay.
just energy. Yeah.
And then we're talking about all the energy stuff. And I'm telling you, girlfriend,
Yep.
guys, if you don't know it yet, I'm here to tell you things are shifting, dude. If you're not feeling these energies that Kim and I are talking about, I don't know
Hit
where
us
you're
up.
at. I don't know where you're at. You're not, I don't, you have to. I don't think you cannot feel this stuff right now because it is so, so intense. And
Mhm.
it's exactly what you were saying. And it's exactly what you were saying of like you're good 1 second and then the next you're like,
Totally different
girl,
space.
I
Yeah.
was on the I was having kind of a little bit of a day. I've been so lethargic, so tired, like dragging ass all day long. You know, that
Mhm.
proverbial saying of just dragging ass. Excuse me, that's what I've been feeling like all day. And then all of a sudden, I went and meditated for 10 minutes. And I'm like, ah! And now I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's happening? Let's go. Let's do this. I'm like, da 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 da. I've got it all. I've got all the energy, and I'm ready to do everything.
Yeah, it's crazy how we see those distortions.
Yeah.
Very crazy. Yeah, the going
And
up and
the
down, the
end.
spiraling. I mean, we're going through so many changes right now, and it's all for the better. In
Yeah.
the meantime, and I think that's probably why they were showing me it's like a daisy or a flower, and the wind blows, and it just sometimes it does this, and it's like just go with the flow, and then when the wind blows the other direction, just try your best to go with the flow. Make sure you're grounded, your roots are deep into the ground like a flower would. And it's funny you said that because I've been seeing a tulip because I've been seeing a lot of energy coming up like this and then up and coming out like a tulip. I want to change my emblem on my website because I'm feeling a change.
Aw. I
So
love that for you.
yeah, I mean it just
Yeah.
now it just came to me like, okay, that's what you need to completely do. It's like, okay, I see the color and everything with it. So
What color?
it's like a mauve, a mauve color with just lots of pink with it, and there's like white in the background, pink. It just it's changing the color, but there's something with that scheme and what it is yet, I don't know because it just came to me because that's not what I normally pick. I love those colors, but most of the time with our website we try to stay neutral,
Mm.
but whatever they're telling me I need to do is I just follow my guides, my higher self and my team, what they tell me I should do because we're
Well,
in
that's
it
all
for
we can do
yeah,
because
it
they're the
does
ones
forever
really
change
running
you.
the show anyway.
Why fight it? Why fight it? What's good is that doing? You're just expelling energy that you could have just put somewhere else and utilize.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. Kim, I have a request.
Okay.
All right. Would you like to, one, do you feel up to channeling? If not, two, would you like to lead us out in a meditation? I think this has been an excellent episode, and I think this is a great
Wow.
stopping point.
Um, A or B, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, I know you weren't expecting. I'm totally putting you on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you are. So I'm
but at
trying to
least
think.
I'm giving you an option. No, I'm
Oh,
just
which
kidding.
shall it
I
be?
mean, yeah. I don't know. What do you feel like in this moment? I know you
Probably
got
a
one of them in it. I know you got one of them in you.
probably a meditation.
I was thinking that.
Probably maybe a short one.
Let's show people some of this energy you've been working with. I'm gonna be your crystal right now. Not literally, not the person, not the person. I was actually gonna reach back and literally crystal.
Hmm. Nice, because I got my Andaranas
Yeah.
with me.
Oh,
I keep
those are
those with me.
beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Those are beautiful. Yep. So that's what I wanted that big guy. I reached over here because I wanted the really big one. It's
Since we've
pretty
been
big
talking about the
because
personality.
I have really big hands. That's a big crystal.
Wow. It just looks like it's a pretty good size.
Yeah, it's a good one. Nice and raw too. I love it. It's got some soft pieces and some
Yeah,
rougher
I like
pieces.
the edges, the softness parts. That's where I kind of
Yeah, but I kind of
gravitate
like
to.
yeah, but I kind of like the roughness too sometimes. It's kind of
Yeah,
nice to,
you kind of do it's the contrast.
hmm So
Ah, okay.
that's why I was like, come on, girl, raise some energy. Let's show them what you're working with these days. So, guys, you don't understand. You really are in for a treat. I'm telling
Ah,
you, you are.
I was trying to think. I'll just let them guide me. It's like just
Hmm.
come in and have them show what I need to show everybody and who needs to hear this. So
Hmm.
everybody just close their eyes
There we go.
and take some deep breaths in through the nose. Take it all the way down to the farthest in your abdomen. Hold it for 4 seconds and then release for 4 seconds. Breathe in again, the same process, and then hold it for 4 seconds and then release. And on this next one, as you're breathing in, see solar light from God's source coming in through your nose. And as you are breathing in and holding it in, see it encircling your entire body throughout your veins. Just sending love, peace, and everything to your cells, all your organs, telomeres. Breathe in deep into your abdomen. Feel it swirling around and release. Now that you're a little relaxed, I ask the solar light to come in through the top of your head, coming all the way down past your eyes, relaxing your eyes, your neck, your jaw. Release that tension, relax the jaw. And see it traveling down past your shoulders, in your heart space, through your abdomen, through your hands. The energy goes all the way down past your knees and your feet, and feel the energy going deep into Mother Gaia. Just feel your whole body expanding out And just feel energy coming out of your hands and your feet going deep down into Mother Gaia and wrapping around her core and then coming back up through the rocks, the water, the caverns, the roots of the trees, and back up into your body. And feel this energy traveling back up through your feet, through your knees, through your hips, your heart space, your hands, your shoulders, traveling up through your third eye and through your crown. And see it going above your head, your crown area, and see it expand out, one to the left and one to the right, all the way back down, encircling your whole body in entirety. And see the energy come back through your feet, traveling back up through those energy channels, through your chakras. And let's stop in the heart space and just ask this light to send loving energy into your heart space and into your higher heart. And expand that energy. See the ripples and the waves expanding out. Very good. Let's travel up through the crown again. Instead of going down, let's go straight up a little bit. Just feel the space that's in between. And take some deep breaths in this space. And let those thoughts pass by and through. And just be in this space. And ask your guides to come along and to show you this beautiful white energy that's coming near you. And you feel the energy coming close to you as you feel your heart speeding up a little bit. And this is because the energy is coming close and nearby. And you see this as your higher self. And you welcome it, and it welcomes you. And as your higher self comes closer and closer, you feel it blending in your aura. You feel the hair raising on your arms. And you feel the peaceness and the love and joy. We ask them to help us with our personality today, to show us a higher space of joy and peace and calmness, and to be able to look at things from a different perspective, not through the eyes that we see through, but from a higher space. And we ask your higher self, as it's taken traveling you up into this being space, just to stop and just look around and just feel the peaceness and the calmness. And if you're able to, you avert your eyes and you look down at yourself. And as you look at yourself from this perspective, you ask your higher self if both of you could send love to yourself. And you feel yourself sending love to yourself. You feel this rising in your heart space. You feel it expanding because there's so much love there that you can't just contain it in that space. So you ask that the love travel throughout your body, all the way to your crown, all the way down your shoulders, your arms, and your feet. And as you do this, you ask that this love be expanded throughout your home, your vehicles, your loved ones. And if you choose to send this love throughout to ones that aren't near your home, whoever you want to have this love sent to, just ask to each of your groups, your family members, loved ones, friends, Mother Gaia, the animals, the plant kingdom, to spread this love without all throughout the earth and give Mother Gaia as well. You feel more energy coming through, much love being transported through you and your higher self from Source and sending it to each and every one of those. And you notice that they all change a little bit. Their posture changes. It's very subtle. The animals, the plant kingdom, Mother Gaia. And you notice that you feel more love coming back towards you. And this is what we call the tenfold. This energy, what you send out, you will get back tenfold. So you're receiving it back. Woo! You feel that energy coming back at you and you just absorb it. You feel yourself expanding. Just feel your energy expanding out, outwards, because there's so much love to give and what was given back to you. You thank them graciously for sending you love back. And we thank our higher self and Source for being there today and showing us this. And we ask that you open up this portal, this gift that you could reuse again. You come in this space. You just call upon your higher self and say, I want to look at things from a different perspective, from my heart space. We thank your higher self for showing us this. You feel your energy slowly coming back, back from the being space, back down through your crown, back into your heart space. You feel the energy going back down through your body, down through your feet, and connecting with Mother Gaia again, grounding yourself. And you feel this encircling her in a core and coming back up through your feet, your knees, your hips, and back into your heart space. Hold your hands to your heart and say, I love myself and I love who I am. And slowly feel yourself coming back to the space and time in the room that you're in. Gently and slowly open your eyes when you are ready.
That was amazing. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, Kim. Goodbye, everyone.
Namaste.